Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown. Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's just Jim. No, Nate will be here in a bit. He's running a little late. No big deal. So we are just going to chill until he gets in. But how is everybody doing? Deceased, all must die is your pick of the week. So I've got something to talk. I picked it up, right? I picked it up. Right. Deceased all must die. Is that what this is? Or is it Deceased War of the Undying Gods? Is that what came out? Which one? Anyway, I got this, but I have not read any of the event, so I need to read it, and then I'm going to start reading this. I might do just a quick, Wikipedia, dive, if you will, and then read it later, just so I can start reading this book, because I really want to read it. I looked like I was skimming through it, and I was like, oh my god, I want to read this. Even Lee was like, you need to read this. I'm like, but I haven't read the event. So I need to get to it. What up, Lee? Thanks for being here. Oh, now it's my own creative name. Got it. I need to read it. I want to read it. I just need to catch up. And there's what, 3 whole arcs that I need to read before I can read that one, right? I want to. Bro, you got to read it to experience the pain and payoffs we get as readers. I want to read it. I really do. I just haven't. I need to. I need to read it. Real quick, I'm going to do some testing out here. I need to check all my... since Nate's not here yet, I think this is next week's. Yes, it is. So let me go back to that. So turn that off. This should be the right... Yep. All right, we're good. Like I said, Nate is... He's on his way. Just he's dealing with some stuff. He'll be here in a minute. So I might as well just start taking care of business, and obviously welcome everyone to the 100th episode. I'm going to be saying it a lot tonight. We did not hit 750 subscribers, but I still want to give something away. So I'm going to try to figure out what to give away. We're going to give away something tonight for 100th episode because we got to celebrate, right? We hit 100 episodes. That's a big freaking deal, right? So I will figure something out. I will look through here, or maybe Nate can find something. I didn't trim it's in my mouth. Anyway, we can figure out something to give away at our 100th episode. Obviously, that's tonight. So let's figure it out. We're going to give something away. It's 100, man. We got to. Let's talk about our show's sponsor really quick, which I don't have the logo up because it's on the other thing, on the other slide when Nate gets here. So I'm just going to go ahead and just talk about our show sponsor, which is Collected Comics and Games, which is our LCS here in the DFW area. And yeah, we love them to death. We love Lee, we love Ron, we love Mike, we love Sarah, we love Hayden. I'm sure I'm missing some other people that work there, but they take care of us over here at Collected Comics and Games. So I would love for you to go over to brainycomics.com. That's their website where they sell their exclusives and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So head on over to brainycomics.com. Hopefully this button works. It does. And when you go over there, you can order or you can buy. Look at the Speak of the Devil. Here's Nate. Hold on. There he is. We've already started the show, but Nate, I'm running through business, so just hold tight. Anyway, you can head over to BradyComics.com. You can pick up exclusive and variants, bundles, bad idea books, new comics, mystery bags, back issues, graphic novels, games, toys and collectibles, and even trading cards. It's so freaking awesome. So head on over to BradyComics.com, buy some stuff. You can buy one thing, buy 50 things. I don't care. Just buy something. And then before you leave, before you take off, also, if you look up at the top of the website right there, free shipping for orders over $100. That's freaking amazing. Anyway, once you figure out what you want, before you leave, type in the search bar, 2 Fat Guys Pull List, and this will pop up. A 2 Fat Guys Pull List upgrade, standard upgrade, or a premium upgrade. Now for $8, the upgrade gets you 1 mystery exclusive comic with whatever else you buy that's put into your cart, which will be mailed out to you. If you do the premium upgrade for $15, you will get 2. And Nate will be arriving Empire. He's just running a little late. He's actually on the line. I'm just running the show while we wait for him to get ready. So once you do all that, put that upgrade into your cart, and you're probably asking, well, what might I get? Well, you might be able to get one of these exclusives here up at the front, or something else. Usually Ron likes to put in there, like if you order a Batman book, he'll try to put in a Batman exclusive cover. If you order a Spider-Man or a Predator, if you will, or Hulk, or anything, he'll try to put some kind of variant worth your while, obviously, when you get that mystery pool. So head on over to bradycomics.com, buy some stuff, put the upgrade in your cart, and just be surprised when you get what you get when it comes to your house. It's gonna be great. So head over to bradycomics.com, help us out, help out our sponsors. They're great. So that's gonna do it there. Obviously, we also have to talk about our subscription giveaway. We are on the road to 750 subscribers, guys. Last I checked, now it could have changed, but we are at 710. We were so close to hitting 750 subscribers by our 100th episode. But when we hit 750 subscribers, obviously you guys know we're giving away this 9.4 CGC graded Silver Surfer Black issue number 1, second print with Noel on the cover there. He's really awesome. So when we hit 750, we will be giving that away. And when we hit 1,000 subscribers, guys, now we'll be giving away stuff at 850, 950, and then 1,000. But when we hit 1,000, you know what we're giving away. This Original Sin tie-in, Amazing Spider-Man issue number 4, 9.8 CBCS graded, first appearance of Silk. Y'all heard me right, okay? I don't think you can hear Nate. I don't think you can hear Nate. I don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong, but maybe you can. Maybe I can't hear him. But we're giving it away. So let's get this thing going. Now let me get Nate in here, and then I need to check my audio because I do not hear him in my ears. So let's do the fixaroo here. Let's turn off just Chim. And that, boop, oh. Let's find Nate's camera. Oh, we are just doing some behind the scenes right now. It's just so much fun. That's not it. That's it. And then we're gonna go full screen here. Pop him out. I cannot hear him. Talk, Nate? No, you're not popping up on my desktop audio. Let me check my settings here really quick. Boop. Oh, it's on defaults. Oh my goodness. Let's go. We want where the that? And then we want output would be my microphone, right? So my Yeti. Can you hear me, Nate? Where's my Yeti? There it is. Can you hear me? Do I have it? I think I have it. I got it the other way around. Oh, this is a disaster. Welcome to the 100th episode, guys. Let's try this. I think that works. So then I need to go.
Oh,
there he is.
I'm singing to you.
Please stop.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway, welcome to the 100th episode.
Oh man.
Infinity Gem. Did I sound weird? Anyway, so I want to give something away, even though we didn't hit our goal. I just feel like we should give something away at 100 on the 100th episode.
Hey, share your screen. I can't see what we're looking at.
I'm asking a question.
What do you want to give away?
I don't know. I figure we could figure something out. We'll just do it live, right?
Fuck it. Do it live.
Do it live. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, this is such a cluster. Okay, this and then down. Okay. I think we're good now. We got so much to get back to on chat here. Like while I was doing all that, just so much on chat.
It looks like we have a pretty big consensus for pick of the week already. Lots of votes for 8 Billion Genies.
Okay. Which is not a
One
book I
one
read.
I wanted to specifically point out. Spencer said that Astronaut Down #3 was one of his favorite books, and I picked up issue 1 of that and was like so on the cusp of picking up issue 2 that now I wonder if maybe I have made a mistake
Probably.
by not continuing to read it.
I'm trying to figure out what to give away.
Oh, Calvin,
Do we
what's
just go?
up?
Do we just go big or go home, or do we just give something away like little itty bitty?
Let me look over here.
What do y'all want?
What do you want?
Let us know. What do you want?
What of my stuff do you want?
I don't know. Good vibes. Lee says good vibes while I plan some things. Thanks, guys. Oh yeah, of course.
Oh.
What up, Calvin? Infinity Gym. Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm lost. A guest panel. You know, I've been wanting to do one of those, and the question is, do you think we can get anybody of consequence, or do we see if we can get a guest panel with a fellow YouTuber? You know, like Hitmonchan. Stefan wants Hitmonchan. Listen, Stefan, if we do a giveaway and you end up winning whatever we give away, I'll add the Hitmonchan. Now, just know. Well, look, dude, it's damaged. Like it's not in good condition, but I will still get Stefan. If you win, I will give you this Hitmonchan on top of whatever we give away. Okay.
Joe will take your machine, your arcade machine.
Nope, that is not up for grabs. I'm sorry. I would love for that. You know what, Stefan? I'll even throw in, if you win, I'll throw in these first edition Lieutenant Surge's Voltorb and Sabrina's Jinx too.
You know what? Can we talk about comics? I don't want to talk about Pokemon cards.
Well, then tell me what to give away. You're not letting me. You're not helping me.
I don't know. I can't tell you what to
sit
give
here
away.
and not talk about comics.
Think of it while we. Batty wants your chair.
No, you can't have my chair. I can't mail that. I'm not. I have to take it
You
apart.
think about it while we talk about comics.
Well, do you have anything? No.
I will think about it while we talk about comics.
I could give away that Galactus Funko Pop.
Bastard.
What? You want it? All right, let's talk about comics. We'll figure it out. Anyway, give it all away. Okay. All right, so we're gonna kick off the show, obviously, with our X book, which we didn't really. We just had Judgment Day, right? That was our only X book.
Yes, that was it.
All right, so let's just talk about that. Okay, fine. Judgment Day, issue number 2.
That's Jim's pick of the week.
It's my pick of the
wow.
week. It's my pick of the week. I just really enjoyed it. You may have absolutely hated it, but I loved it. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was better than issue 2. You know, I think we both knew. I think everybody knew that this was not going to be a good idea. What the Eternals were doing with the Avengers. I mean, maybe it is by the end of the event, but it's looking pretty fucking grim. Jim's standards are low. Wow, Tendu. Wow. I mean, I've got other picks. This is my Marvel pick of the week, okay?
What? No, this was your whole pick of the week.
Okay. Fine.
What
Okay, go ahead.
happened in this issue?
What happened? They built a god.
Yeah, that was like 2 pages.
Yeah, they built a god. They decided to give Tony Stark. They decided to put Tony Stark's his human body as like the the framework for it. So it's like, how can you not see this as a bad idea?
Oh yeah.
Also, I've really enjoyed when Exodus got killed. You know, when he like went supernova and blew up the, what are they called? What are the? I don't remember. They're Eternals that don't look like humans, right? When he blew up, and like Karen basically said, you know, obviously when he's resurrected, he doesn't remember exactly what happened. You know, like it was the last reboot. But when they got to the Eternal, right, it's like it remembers everything. It's like, okay, well that fucking sucks. You know, like it's gonna be more angry. I thought that was really cool. I really enjoyed, like, now that we're starting to set up these 6 humans that clearly are remember in the Eternals run that Karen had, where we had that kid that Icarus was going to protect, and then we find out, yeah, we're killing him. So clearly we're setting up collateral damage for the Eternals, and their big secret obviously being revealed within Judgment Day. I have to assume, right? Like the X-Men's big secret has already been revealed. Everyone's pissed at them. I think, you know, the Eternals are their secret's going to get found out, and oh shit, we can't trust the Eternals now. Nobody kill the Eternal because somebody on Earth could die.
Right.
Which I thought was like, okay, cool. Like we've got some consequence that we're not forgetting about in Karen Gillan's previous run, which I didn't expect to forget about, but I like that he brought it in. Okay. I don't know. I just enjoyed it. Like out of everything that I read, and there were a lot of good books for me this week. I'm not reading 8 Billion Genies, so I can't pick that book. I'm sorry.
I mean, you should be. Thank you for apologizing for a clear mistake that you've made.
Christ, guys, this is 100, and you're all over here just judging me.
It's almost like we're taking it straight from the book.
All right. Do you want me to redact it? Do you want me to give it to another book?
No.
That I also liked?
I do want you to help me understand this.
Okay, good.
This page is where I gave up on the issue and put it down, and then came back to it the next day.
Really?
I don't mind words. You know, I don't mind words.
I'm surprised
Kieran
you got
Gillen,
lost.
I think this might be the most poorly written 2-page Kieran Gillen has ever produced that I have read. It's just I got confused. I don't understand what it's saying. Like, what is happening with Sinister? What is it talking about? Promising a new age for Eternals. It was here that it was subverted by Sinister. It was here that it was detonated. What the fuck is this talking about?
When I read that, from my understanding, Sinister, I guess, has history with the Eternals that we are not privy to. I don't know if that's because we're novice readers.
Oh, this isn't talking about the Eternals. This is talking about his interaction with the Dreaming Celestial.
I don't know. Then I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what any of this is talking about at all.
Didn't bother me. The way I read it is he had history with the Eternals and tried to steal some form of power from them, and so that's how he knew, and that's why they took him. Is that he's got some kind of history with the Eternals. And
what is this talking? It says Odin planned for a war against the Celestials.
That happened that actually happened in Jason Aaron's Avengers run when we first started reading it. That was the first. And the
Destroyer was destroyed, torn asunder long ago. Then it gets put back together.
Yeah, remember.
It speaks to Odin's gifts that it was not an easy task even for them.
Right. It happened. That Odin stuff happened in Jason Aaron's first arc. Remember when Loki came down with like the dead Celestials, like they were corrupted Celestials.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about that. Like that's when that first initial like 1 billion BC Avengers showed up in Aaron's run, and it was showing like that the Celestials and the Avengers of 1 million BC had been fighting. So that's actually a Jason Aaron connection. I
guess it's because it's been 4 years since I read that arc that I don't.
Right. But when it popped in my head, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that because they explain like, you know, that's how the Avengers got their base. Remember, because the Avenger, the Celestial that died on Earth, is the whole reason why, you know, it came out of its primordial goo, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so it looks like Tendu and Kwaku got us here.
Okay.
Kieran run on X-Men introduced Sinister and the Dreaming Celestial was the first arc. Gillen's referencing an old Uncanny X-Men stuff with Sinister. Odin stuff is a mix of Aaron and Gillen's.
Yeah. It's not just something that he just threw in there. It's something from like shit that we have not either we have experienced a little bit of it or we haven't.
I will just say personally the reason why and I don't think this is a bad issue, but I got overwhelmed because I feel like I felt pretty purview had a good what am I trying to say? Purview had a good purview. It doesn't matter. I felt like I had a good understanding of what was going on here.
Yeah.
And when I got here, I was like, I don't understand, and I don't feel like I shouldn't understand, and this is making me mad. So I literally put the issue down and just moved on, and had to come back. But I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I'm glad I didn't text you. I'm sure I would have gotten destroyed pre-show.
No.
Judgment Day issue number 2 is my why. I mean, there. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. I wasn't gonna say anything. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I don't know how I feel about the ordinary people's perspective of things. I don't know. I just don't know if I don't know if I give a shit or not.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
not. It's weird. It feels like it adds odd context. Honestly,
were those 6
thoughts.
people? Were they introduced in the first issue? Were they in there or no?
Yeah,
Like they weren't. But were they named like that?
I think so.
Okay, I felt like that was the first time we had met them.
No, they were in the first one. No, I think the reason why it bothers me is because it breaks the awkward suspension of disbelief that we live in by reading comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you have a guy talking about like the keyboard warrior at his computer saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna show them, and his wife asks like who died and made him an Eternal, and it's like, what? He's siding with Eternals? What? Like, what? It doesn't even make sense. Like, how do they even know what the Eternals are doing right now? That's not like some like, wait, what? It felt weird to me. It felt weird.
I think this will be a pivotal issue. I think, and this is me hoping, I guess, which is probably bad for me. But I feel like issue 2 will be one of those issues that we'll go back to when the entire thing is over and be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like we'll see some connections that, you know, it'll pull a mini Hickman, if you will, where we'll go back and go, okay, this is what this actually meant. Here's that foreshadow. It's not done as obviously as smart or as intricate as Hickman, but I feel like we'll come back to this issue and be like, okay, this is what this means.
We could, and again, context is everything, right? So like, I'm sure this issue will make a lot more sense once it's in hindsight or once we're reading it together. Rich says he doesn't remember them from the first issue. I could be wrong.
Okay. And then Tendu, obviously, you're breaking down what we were talking about. The 6 people are going to die because of the Celestials need a human, or the Eternals need a human of life to be resurrected. The X-Men, which we still don't know the cost of their resurrection. Quiku, this issue is the first time we meet these 6. Okay, that's what I thought. I kind of like seeing real people react to this. Makes the universe feel real. Druig announced the Eternals going to war against the mutants in issue 1. Got it.
Oh, maybe I need to
Reread.
readjust, because this is the only thing I had a problem with this week. I didn't feel like I had a problem with anything else. But
That's okay. No, that's all right. Well, it was my pick of the week. I enjoyed it. And I'll say this also. You know, we've talked about this a couple times now, but Marvel establishing this new house style I mean, the artwork in this book was just beautiful.
And I agree. Valerio Sheedy to me is top 10, maybe even top 5. Mm-hmm. But there's one panel of Sinister that like, I think Tadu said looks like he's melting, or something like that. Or no, he said he looks methed out. And yeah, like I agree, he looks very strange. Very strange.
Yeah, I mean, he looked sinister in my opinion. If the humans find out that they will be replaced by an Eternal, their tone will change. By the way, will that be the murder of an Eternal to take humans' life to come back?
I think you're right. I think that if humans find out about that, they're obviously going to change their tune, because they're always going to be scared that they're going to be the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Lee, I think you're right. That was the one thing I was super confused about, was like, Lee said, I thought the X-Men couldn't resurrect non-mutants, and that was one of the things I was most confused about, was like, when humanity found out that mutants could resurrect, they were all like, oh, what the fuck? My wife died 6 months ago, what the fuck? And I'm like, at what point did anyone be convinced that humans could be resurrected too?
I don't think. I think it's just it's an assumption of just. I mean, look at, and I hate to do this, but look at like just political shift in tones that we're dealing with today. Like, so many assumptions are made. Well, what? Me and blah blah, you know, right? And so like they're just assuming, well, if the mutants can be resurrected, then humans can too. They've made all these drugs, blah blah blah, and they're not listening. It's just fuel of rage, right? It's just hearts pounding in greed. So they just automatically assume, well, if you're going to resurrect yourselves, why not share the wealth? And yeah, obviously Xavier could go into everybody's brains and be like, can't happen, guys. But at the same time, he could do that and still be like, yeah, fake news. Doesn't matter. You can still resurrect you. I don't care. I don't believe you. You know, like, I think that's kind of the tone you're getting with that shit. Is just humans in general are just fucking greedy pieces of shit.
Yes. Joe, I'm just going to answer your question by telling you you're asking too many questions.
What?
They're not thinking about it that hard, unfortunately.
What?
Because that makes sense. Joe said, why does Wolverine need to be resurrected when he heals? Which I think is a good point, because in his current volume, he literally was submerged in lava
That's
and
true.
still lived. And how does he get his steel, or like adamantium, and be reborn by not having his bones back as claws, like his claw bones and shit? Like when he's reborn, he's back to adamantium again, but that wasn't his natural body form. So what? Do they have like special? I'm sure they have like specialized corpses waiting for him to be resurrected into that've got adamantium in them. But like still, like that's a good point.
I don't know. I dug it, and then I really like that they had to, the thumb specifically had to be like taken out of the ground, and it's like the judgment thumb, you know, like so. By the end of the issue, it's just like, okay, guys, here we go. Like, you know, help me figure out what I'm gonna do. Are you bad or good? You know, I like that too. I like that a lot too. So, Anyway, I enjoyed it. Let's move on. Whoop! Hey, look at that! It's Amazing Spider-Man issue number 7.
Yeah. Did you read it?
What? How did you feel about it?
I thought it was a decent issue. I thought it was like a B plus.
Okay.
We're in like a little bit of a limbo between arcs. I feels like I think we're just gonna get like a little bit of a 2-issue, because we've got 7 and 8, and then 9 I think is the Hellfire Gala top, you know, mix in, and then 10 is the Judgment Day. So I think this is just like a two little issue. Let's catch up on some things in between, like stuff going on with Norman, stuff going on with MJ. So I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. Obviously, like the art continues to be atrocious. I think that this issue might be one of the more worse art issues of the short run so far, because we have very little.
I'm surprised.
We have very little of what John Romita does well, which is like Spidey in his suit and stuff like that. And we have a lot of old man faces, and it's just so many goddamn lines. Like, why the fuck are there so many lines in this art? Like, you look at the Vulture suit and you're like, dude.
So
like, I swear he thinks that Marvel literally pays him by the actual line. He's like, oh god, I gotta get more lines in here so we can pay for our retirement home.
You're gonna lose it when I say what I say about this book.
All right.
We are on different. We're just built different this week. I was actually not that put off.
Okay, you
by the artwork this week.
Were you reading coffee, or did you take a hit of crack cocaine before you read the comics this week? I'm serious.
I was fine. I was watching. I was outside of a couple faces here and there that were kind of like me. I was kind of impressed. I was like, whoa, like this looks okay. I you know, I don't know. I just was not. I was expecting way worse, and so when I started reading it, I was like, hey, you know, there's actually some. This is okay. I mean, it's not acceptable, but compared to the first issue that I read, right, and then that atrocious panel that you showed me where it looks like Peter's face is growing a tumor, this issue actually looked okay. And I thought when we did get the Spidey suit, you know, like the action between the Vulture and all that jazz, I was I was impressed. Where'd you go?
It keeps like getting behind or something.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I for some reason I just I was surprised. I thought it was.
Alvin, are you literally trying to trigger me right now? Like I feel like triggered.
I wouldn't read it if Romito Jr. was doing the artwork though. I love Cyclops and I would not read that. I don't know. I was expecting the worst, and so when I started reading it, I was like, holy shit, like this actually is okay. It was okay. You know, if I were to give it a grade, C-. Okay. But compared to compared to the other things that I've seen, F's, right? So I was actually quite surprised. Does that give me hope for the rest of the series? Absolutely not. I am begrudgingly picking this up for Zeb Wells and Zeb Wells only, and because I want to read a good story. Romita's artwork will continue to make me be very upset about it, but I was actually genuinely like, I read it and was like, wow, I'm not about to throw a brick through my window. I feel okay. I don't feel like I need to get on my phone and be like, like I just, I was okay with it. The thing that I'm concerned with is, again, like, if we get these issues that are okay, and then we get another issue in 2 weeks that are going to be just absolute doo-doo, then I will get frustrated, because this book is gonna be reviewed, because we are genuinely liking the story. So
yeah, well, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, we already have one more issue and then we get a break. Patrick Gleason is doing the Hellfire Gala issue, and then Nick Dragotta is doing the Judgment Day issue. So we won't have after next week. We won't have to see Junior again until October 12th.
Joe, I like what you said there. The art is better than 7, but we as readers are desperate to find positives from this creator. Now, I agree with you. Like, at the end of the day, I think we've said this before many times. If you're gonna give the book a really amazing writer, and once a month, it's okay for a Spider-Man book to come out once a month, especially if Dan Slott is gonna have a Spider-Man book that's gonna come out, and then there's gonna be a Spider-Verse book, and there's gonna be a Miles. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of Spider books. Peter Parker does not need to have 2 books a month. And if you can have it once a month with a good artist that can keep up with deadlines, do it. Okay? Shit. I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, I was about to say make it a double-sized issue, but that would defeat the purpose. I'm just saying it doesn't need to come out twice a month. It doesn't. It can be once a month.
But that's not the problem. The artist is the problem, and I don't think that we need to worry about the.
But we're picking Romita because he's fast, right? We're picking Romita because he can push out stuff. No? Then why are we picking Romita? Because it's just
because of the name. Because of the name.
The name sucks. Okay, well, let's move on then. I thought it was it was a fine issue. I thought it was cool. But
no, I was just gonna say, Joe was asking if this Tiana was the same that's Miles' girlfriend, this one that's the Vulture's granddaughter, and Quaker said, yeah, it is the same, and we might get to see Miles in this arc once Vulture realizes he's after the wrong Spider-Man.
Oh no.
I think that's pretty interesting, pretty cool.
Pretty cute. All right, well, I agree with you, Nate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I led you astray. You're right. The artwork is trash, but I was surprised that I wasn't as filled with anger than I thought I would be, because I picked this up and I'm like, here we go, and then I ended it and I was like, not bad, not too bad.
I will say that I think the one thing that Zeb Wells is doing right is that there's always been a little bit, at least from the Spider-Man that I have read, a little bit more of a modern Spider-Man take, like Volume 2 and on, is it's always felt like a little bit of a soap opera. And so it really does, to me, need to be like every 2 weeks to feel episodic and feel like that. I feel like if I was only getting this book once a month in this issue, I don't want to wait a month for like what's going on here. Like, I need more, because like it wasn't that much, and we wait a lot on like cliffhangers and stuff like that, which I know other books do, but like with Spider-Man, I think we need to have that frequency if we're going to keep up the little bit of a soap opera style, especially with what's going on with him and MJ, which I enjoy. I think that's, we're not getting that a lot in comics. So
let me ask you this, because we were gonna put 8 Billion Genies, and because it wasn't a new comic book day, because we were like, I don't know if it's gonna come out or not. Did you read Mindset?
That's actually the one book I missed.
Okay, so I'm gonna switch out, trying to see where we end the show. I'm sorry, guys. We'll end it. We'll get to the end of our list and then we'll add because we need to add Samurai Dog, Doggy, and A Billion Genies. Is there another book that we're missing?
I don't have your. Okay. I don't know what your list looks like.
Well, we'll get to it. All right, let's go to the next book. Next book, we got Avengers issue number 59. This was actually a fun read. It was really cool. We got like a Star Brand, Billy the Kid, and like a gunslinger Phoenix. And so when she shot bullets, like little phoenixes like the bullets turned into little phoenixes and pew 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 go through things. And it's again, we're setting up this Mephisto taking over the entire Marvel comic universe, and that's fine. Whatever. The only problem I have with this is Jason Aaron has done this multiple times now in arcs where we just start the arc in the middle of it, right? And I understand doing that for certain things, but it's just so disorienting that I can't focus on the fun, entertaining stuff in the issue when I'm trying to figure out what we're trying to do, right? Because Avengers and Avengers Forever are clearly connected, right? But it's being done so sloppily that I can't enjoy what Aaron is trying to do, because I genuinely liked this issue. I thought it was really fun, and I'm not a big Western pew 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 like gunslinger kind of guy. That's kind of in the same vein as like vampires for me and zombies. But I actually liked this issue. The problem I have is Aaron is just kind of putting stuff out, and I can't follow it. Like the arc has not been defined properly in my mind, and it hasn't been defined. It got a little bit of a restructure when we started this Avengers Forever, Avenger Prime, Deathstroke's time jumping. Really, ooh, here we go, right? Mm-hmm. And then it just went like in a bunch of different directions. And so whenever we get these cool issues where we have like a really fun little contained story arc, and we've learned of this new character, at the end of it, I'm like, okay, yeah, but this character is only going to show up in a splash page in this event that Jason Aaron's going to do that hasn't been announced. You know what I mean? So like we're building up all these cool characters, and they're going to get a panel in one book of a 6-issue event. And so it's a little frustrating. I am with you, Joe, in saying, Avengers is putting out fun, entertaining issues each month as one-shots, not as an arc. It feels like a weekly hospital episode TV show with a overall story. I could not say it any better. That's basically what it is. I enjoyed this issue, but what are we doing? Like, I need more structure. On? I just need structure, and we're not getting that right now. Leah, I always get nervous when you sigh like that before a book. There'll be a lot. All right, let's move on. All right, Thor, Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor, issue number 3. This is the first one that I was like, wait, what? At the end, it was just the end. At the end, I was like, wait, what? Everything else I thought was cool. I thought this book was fun. Just at the end, I'm like very, very confused.
Just because it's like, it seems like it's Thor getting killed.
Right. But and it felt like there was a little bit of a jump, right? Like obviously Jane traveled to meet Thor, right? I think. But it just felt that's the only part of the book that I was like, wait, what happened here? That was the only part. Everything else made sense in this issue. I think she's doing a phenomenal job going back.
Yeah, I thought this issue was a lot of fun. I think that we're juggling a few different stories, and they're all fun stories. Right now Jane is in limbo, fighting it out with Sim, trying to figure out where Thor is.
Sim gets his ass beat, dude.
Yeah, I love how she like throws the hammer and he like whips it away, and she's like, "Oh, you thought that was my most powerful weapon?" And then like whips out like all weapon that's like
it's like a piece of something.
It's the all weapon. It says the all weapon, or however you say it, Unjarn, bonds and melts into the piece of promethium. Yep. My all weapon always turns into what I need. I love that. Mm-hmm. I thought that was really cool. And literally, she like stands up with it and then like reaches out and grabs Mjolnir too, and he's like, "Yeah, that."
Yeah.
about to get my ass whooped. And then of course the story back on Asgard, where we've got, I don't know, I love seeing the backups, the B and C listers of Asgard, Sif and Bill and
Bill.
Tyr and the Valkyries, Hildegard, Volstagg. Like, I loved him getting in on the action too. I really enjoyed that. This was my Silly Goose Time Marvel book of the week. Like, I thought it was just like a lot of fun. But yeah, I do think that like ending was kind of confusing. I feel like there's something that she was trying to do with the librarian and Jane turning back to her normal form and them kind of having this moment, and it did seem to miss a little bit for me. I just wasn't sure exactly. I don't feel like it really said anything. We were trying to say something, and I don't feel like it did. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, is that there was just a little bit of choppiness here. You know, like we had the initial fight between whatever his name is, the guy from Limbo, and then the callback to the war that's actually going on in Asgard, and then this conversation with the librarian and Jane. Like, I was like, okay, I get what we're doing here, but I'm getting a little lost. And then when we jump from the boat to where they land, and she's just there, and Thor shows back up in his armor, and then just gets fucking laid out by 3 arrows. I'm like,
yeah.
And and I clearly that's the hook, right? Like, oh no, what just happened? Okay, we'll find out next time, But to me, it was just so abrupt. Like, yeah, I get that's the hook, but wait, what? Like,
so
compared to
go
ahead.
I was just gonna say, my biggest thing that I think a lot of people are having problems with too is like Thor appearing really, really skinny and weird when he's like in the tree, and then now we're seeing him here. The biggest thing I think you need to keep in mind is like, who's the major player right now, and it's Enchantress. And so she's not only like deals with magic, but she does illusion shit all the time. So what we're being presented is probably not what we're actually seeing, and is probably not what is actually going on.
Right.
So I would just say keep that in mind going forward, that it will probably be explained way differently in the end.
Can we just get it up to beat with chat? I'm gonna add some books because I need to get some stuff in here real quick.
Sure. Let's see. This one, Joe said Thor hit a 3-issue wall. The book didn't explain why Thor was so skinny. Yeah, and so I have to lean towards bad art for the Thor. Yeah, and so I guess I kind of did hit on that, but I do wonder if that's intentional or not. I think if him being overtly skinny is just like an art choice, that's gonna have to be a huge knock against this artist. I think it'll probably be
explained better.
The Thor that got shot might be the wrong Thor. Yeah, I wonder if it's Thor at all, or if I wonder if maybe this. To me, it seems way more likely that what is going on is some type of ploy by Enchantress to get the all weapon from Jane. That seems most likely to me. That's what's going on here. Something like that, so that she's using some type of mirage, false reality, so any sort of magic baloney thing she can conjure up her sleeve to get things going. Now, I think Thor probably is trapped somewhere in some kind of capacity, or else why would Mjolnir be there, and why would he not be on Asgard right now helping defend? Obviously that part is probably true, but Skinny Thor, I don't know. I think maybe that's part of the illusion. God, I hope it's not just the artist making a big.
That would suck. That would suck a lot if that's what that is.
Since you're doing that, Tiddu asked Nate, what's your opinion on the state of X-Men comics from Hickman to now? I would say overall positive. I think that the worst way to view anything in the world, and it's harder to do in this day and age, whenever we know more information than I think we're probably privy to as like content consumers versus the creators, is that we try to view it through the ends of what could have been, and we probably shouldn't know. It's certainly not fair to judge the product you're given by what it could have been, because that doesn't mean anything. You don't ever know what it really could or couldn't have been, and so it's really hard to be like, oh, I just wish Hickman would have stuck around and been able to tell his story. And that is frustrating, and I also do feel that way. But I think if you view it outside of the lens and just look at it for what it is, I think overall it's pretty good. If you look at individual titles, I thought Excalibur was good overall. I thought it was a good title. I had fun. I'm also biased. I love Arthurian legends and stories. I think most people would agree that Hellions was one of the most standout books of the entire run so far. Like, that book was hilarious, was excellent.
It's in, like,
I think a lot of people had fun.
Top 3 X books.
Yeah, and you don't need to know a damn thing about what's going on in X books in order to enjoy Hellions. I think Sword was good, but I do think there are a lot of misses. I think Wolverine overall was probably a miss unless you're a huge diehard fan. I think X after the first arc was kind of a miss. I think Marauders, by about the third arc, about 18 issues in, sort of fell off its overall initial plan. But I think New Mutants was only good during the Hickman arc, and then during when Vita Yala picked up the book. I don't think the Ed Brisson issues were something to really write home about. That's just me.
All right. Well, thank you for that little.
Joe said, "I wonder if this story ties back into Valhalla. That'd be dope." Oh yeah, because no one's in Valhalla right now. What's the diet on Hickman that got him kicked out of the X office? He didn't get kicked out. He left, and it was because they were ready to move on to he was ready to move on. The office kind of seemed like they weren't. He put it to a vote, said who wants to move on, who doesn't. Most of them said no, so he just said, okay, y'all continue, but I don't want to be here anymore. He has a book he's working on with, was it Valeria Sheedy?
I think so.
Or RB Silva? It's one of the big names that we like.
It's for Sheedy, I think.
I don't think his contract isn't based on time. He has another book that he has to do, so he will be doing it. Looking at comics for what they are is important. The medium is constantly changing. I agree. Diet Dirt, got it. I
like that.
I made the change in my head, but I still read it as Diet. Quickie says Sabretooth and Hellions are some all-time great X-Men comics in my opinion. Duggan, X-Men, Immortal, and Red are all shaping up to be amazing runs too.
I would agree.
Tudu says I'd say Hellions and Sword. Sword was taken over by King in Black. I think Ten of Swords and every other event failed to shape the X era in a new way.
I think
I don't know that they shaped it in a new way, but I think that the introduction of the Araukans in general, I think, is pretty important. And it
was important, but I think Ten of Swords as an event was sold to us as one thing, and then the middle tie-in part, the middle tie-in part was just, I don't know. I felt like it was unnecessary. And then the Alpha, the middle issue, and the Omega were just hell yeah, you're right. They were awesome. And I also, obviously I'm sad. Like, that issue had me sad because we got all these cool mutants, but then Apocalypse goes away, and I felt like Apocalypse was really driving Krakoa, in a really cool way. Because it's just, Apocalypse is one of those cool villains that you're like, man, I wish he was a good guy. Because he's just cool. He's just a baddie, and then he leaves. And I'm still hoping and praying that he's going to show up after Judgment Day. He's going to show up on Mars and be like, the fuck? Who did this?
What's going on here, fellas?
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, let's move on. We've got the next book, which I put in here really quick. I picked this thing up on the fly, and that is Predator, issue number 1.
Oh, yeah, tell me about this
by Ed Brisson. And if I'm going to make up for my sins, apparently, of making Judgment Day my pick of the week, this would be my other Marvel pick of the week, Predator issue number 1. And I am not a Predator alien guy. I'm just not. I'm not into it. And the only there are two reasons why I picked this book up. One, Lee was like, I had a $25 coupon, credit at the shop, and I was picking up Samurai Doggy with that, and she's like, well, you got to spend the whole thing if you want. I was like, all right, fine. She's like, go find some more books. So I go in and find some more books. I picked up The Deceased, which I need to read all of that before I can read that. I picked up Samurai Doggy. I picked up a cool variant cover for Deceased, and then I walked by this Predator book, and I was like, I don't know.
Is this the cover you got?
This is the cover I got.
This is the cover A?
Yes.
Okay.
And the only other reason outside of me having to pick up a book so I could spend my entire 25 was the name, the writer, Ed Brisson. I saw that and I was like, you know, I've read some stuff from him that's been really, really fun. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna read it.
He did the Ghost Rider run that you really liked, didn't he?
I think he did. Yo, this book is fun. I was expecting one thing and we got another, right? So we get introduced to this family who's on this planet, and this little girl's like, ha ha ha, we're excavating a planet and I'm gonna go pretend I'm a scientist. Wee. And her parents are like, yo, don't run away from the ship. This place is fucking dangerous. We don't know what's around here. And then right as they're like giving her the speech, the dad like hears something. He's like, oh, what was that? Like, he pulls a snake from Metal Gear Solid. Like, huh? What was that noise? And he looks over and he looks up into the trees. He's like, babe, get the little girl back to the ship. I think something's hunting us. And then you see the three little dots like whoop right on his shoulder, and then boom, just gets fucking lit up, killed, done dead. So they're running to the ship. And as they're running to the ship, people are getting their heads, literally heads, blown off left and right as they're running to the ship. Just boom, 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 boom. Yeah, dude. So the mom gets the kid into the ship, and she's like, don't fucking move. Don't come out of the ship until... And I think the ship's got like a nav name or something like that. I don't remember the name of the ship's name. It's like, until the ship tells you to leave, don't leave this room. She's like, but mom, we gotta. She's like, don't. Right?
Don't do it.
And as she's saying that, you can see like bodies in the background just blowing up, turning into, like, imagine like when you finally kill that fucking mosquito, you're like, ha! You look at your hand and there's just blood. Like that's what's like, people are just blowing up. So all this shit's going down. She goes out there to fight the Predator. The Predator's like, ha! And he like grabs her, pulls off his mask, and is like, I'm gonna eat your face. And she's able to like cut off one of the mandibles on its face, right? And then the ship's like, all right, bye, and takes off with the girl. So she's the only person alive. Everybody else dies. Now, obviously at the beginning of the book, it's like cut. It's like a Tarantino thing. So it cuts to this, what looks like a predator fighting another predator. They fight. This one predator cuts the other predator's head off. Take off the mask. Oop, we find out it's the girl. She's been growing up. She's grown up and she is hunting predators.
Oh shit.
She's hunting for this predator that slaughtered her family. All right. And that exactly, I was like, oh shit, this is not what I was expecting. Right.
Okay.
So we splice in between what I just told you about everybody getting killed and this girl who is hunting predators. On the planet that she's on, when she kills one of the predators, she's wearing the armor of the predator. She's wearing the mask of the predator. So when she runs into the native people of the planet, they're like, hey, you know, they don't speak English. And they're pissed at her because they think she's a predator. So they run her off the planet and they're like, get the fuck off our planet. We're going to kill you. So the issue basically ends with the ship itself is running, like parts of the ship are falling apart. And so they need to land on a planet that is owned by what the actual starship is, who built it, right? But she's technically a fugitive in their eyes because, you know, the ship ran off without the crew. They don't know, so she has to land on this on this planet to get the ship fixed. So that's kind of how it ends. She lands in like an icy part of the planet, and the next arc is going to be her trying to get the ship fixed without like any power, and then unbeknownst to her, there's another predator on the island, on the planet. Anyway, that being said, this book threw me for a loop. I was not expecting it Thank you, Lee, for making me spend my $25 credit because this shit was dope. Dope.
I'll probably pick it up.
Go pick it up. I told you to go pick it up.
Especially because I mean, it's almost guaranteed we're gonna have a Alien Predator crossover at some point, right?
No doubt.
Now that they're both under the same license again, or
Right.
I guess they were before, but.
Lee says, my brand is go find some more books. You haven't read enough. Are they giving you enough to read? Says the person that has a million back issues that needs to read at her house. Anyway, Lee, no, I appreciate you helping me out and getting that book. Joe, I can see a crossover between Daredevil and the Punisher coming. I recommend to get into the goodness. No, we will talk about that. I don't know. Was that this week? No, that's next week. I think you did that to me the first time I was at the shop, Lee. Oh, you have have you read this? Here, what about that? Yeah. Joe, I was going to pick up Predator, but my car broke down last week. I got to change my pull list and trade it and wait for some of my monthly books. Sad times here in North Carolina. Dude, we are so sorry. That sucks. Either way, it was fun. Nate, you need to pick it up. Everybody else pick it up when you can, if you can.
I'll pick it up.
We don't discuss the back issue. Lee, get with it, man. Come on. All right, let's jump into our DC books. We got Batgirls issue number 9, Batgirl Summer. I enjoyed it. It was a solid B+.
Yeah, this is the DC Silly Goose time, right? Like it was. Right. I also think that it's a name that I hesitate to say because I'm worried I'm going to say it wrong. Neil Googe.
Let's just say Googe.
Googe. He did a really good Corona impersonation. So
okay.
Obviously it wasn't as strong as Corona's artwork, but I think continuing to have our same colorist on the book as well helps make the issues feel cohesive.
Right.
I would say that the only, and I don't know, I would say the only critique of this book is I don't know if there are any. It doesn't really feel like there are any stakes. Like there's no high stakes, nothing like that could really go wrong in this book that will mean much. But part of me also says like, do we really need that in every book? Like, do we need every single book to feel like this is going to be the end of the characters and like everything's on the line and it's always like a big crazy time? I don't know that we need that every time. So
sorry, I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna give away.
You're being distracted. Yes.
No, I'm not. I want everybody to be happy that we're at 100 and everybody that was here is gonna have a chance to win something. Yeah, I agree. What was the one thing? I do like the continuation of the old man possibly being a murderer storyline, and he might still be, like there's no actual identification that that might be a mannequin that they saw, not a real dead body. I don't know. But I dug it. I thought it was fun. Joe, I dropped Batgirls like WD did in the movie, but if Nightwing and Babs become an actual thing, I will be pissed. They are a thing. It is happening.
They are a thing. Yeah. They are definitely a thing. There's no doubt about that.
Time to be mad.
If you want, unfortunately, I'm not saying this tauntingly. Unfortunately, if you want, if you're a dick and what's her name? Oh shit! Now I'm not gonna remember her name.
Uh-oh.
The girl from Titans that he also has
Sunfire.
a relationship with. Starfire. If you stand that relationship, you need to go read the Elseworld stories because that's about the only place they exist anymore. I think that editorial has already made a decision. They are pretty straightforward. Whether it's the right one or not, I'm certainly not going to comment on because I am not a long-time DC reader, so I don't know how I feel about that. This is the only exposure I have to a relationship with Dick. So
Rich, that Thor 337 is actually it's from the toy. Like a toy came out, so it's like a it's not the actual one that Nate has, and he's gonna be a punk ass and show off his right now. So shut the fuck up. Anyway, but I'll give it away. It's a toy variant. Like it's worth something. It's just not worth as much as that one. So I mean, I don't think I could do that because I was gonna give away this. I was thinking about this.
I can't see that.
This is a Thor #1 signed by Donny Cates 9.8 graded comic. It's a variant edition, black and white. I was thinking about giving this away, but you know, if you want me to give that away, I'll give that away. That's not a big deal. That's cool.
Corey Yesley, thank you. I was trying to think of her actual name, not her like superhero name.
Superhero name? Yeah, I'm not that well versed.
Ew, Tim and Babs, that seems gross to me. Even though pages are all kind of messed up, that just doesn't seem correct. Joe says Nightwing has the most body count in all of comics.
Nice. All right, next up we've got Dark Crisis: Worlds Without the Justice League on Infinite Earths sequel Green Lantern, issue #1 from Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Yes, this one is going to be very quick. Not bad, easy read. I don't know why this is necessary. So it's the art is cool. I like the art. It's very similar to like a Jorge Corona sort of feel. Very, very green, lots of green. Basically, this is a world where the only superheroes are Green Lanterns, who were formed by John Stewart, and he is the Emerald Knight. This is him on the cover, like all in green. So like when he powers up, he's all green and shiny, and he's the Emerald Knight, and he like comes down to like save the world, but he's retired. And he gets pulled out of retirement to go fight a baddie real quick, and I don't know why. And I don't know why it matters. It was a fun little ditty, but like I don't.
So
when
I watched Robbie, who I watch every Wednesday before I pick up my comics, the way he explained it was obviously it's somewhat of a continuation of what we learned in Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths sequel. I'm always going to say that. Where we find out that the Justice League isn't actually dead. So each hero of the Justice League has been put on their own world to live out their reality, right?
I get all that. I still don't understand why does this exist? What does that matter?
Okay, I'm about to tell you. Okay, it doesn't exist for you to. The only thing I can tell you, Nate, because I ran into this multiple times when I was reading tie-ins for Death Metal, right? Which is DC just loves to pump out tie-ins, just like when Heroes Reborn, right? When I was reading Heroes Reborn, and I picked up every tie-in, and how many times did I go, why the fuck does this book matter?
Yeah.
Why does it matter? It doesn't. It's just to sell another book for the event so that you can make whatever the trade is or hardcover that much thicker. That's what this book is. And I'm not saying it was bad because I'm right there with you. It was a fun story. It was a silly goose time. But it doesn't.
I just don't know if I agree. Like, I think that like.
Then why else would this book exist? Tell me.
Well, I mean, I told you I don't know. Just because I don't agree with your explanation doesn't mean I have the only answer. I'm just saying, like, there are creators on these books that are like making these things. So I feel like there's some like, obviously we're probably like at the end of issue 3, we see Hal Jordan. This is the world that he's going to be in. So maybe the point is to provide context so you can understand the world he's on.
Because we'll never see that world in the actual event. And then
we might, though. I mean, shit, because not the actual event, but we might see it later, because if this is going to reinstate the multiverse, then
but it'll be a panel, right? And then this guy will show up. This version of John will show up, and it'll say, for context, read Green Lantern #1 world. That's what it'll be, right? That's exactly what it'll be. Sure. That's how it'll work.
If you want to understand what this is, and you want to understand what John Stewart, the Emerald Knight, is, Tindu says it best. They literally just turned John Stewart into Ion, like Kyle Rayner was during the Jeff Johns era. Like, that's pretty much what it is. I tried to read the Hawk Girl backup, and my eyes started crossing sideways, and then I started falling asleep, and I just said I don't give a shit. I don't even understand who that character is, and so I just don't care.
Joe, you're right. Robbie has dropped like 95% of Marvel books. The only Marvel books he really reads are events, which he kind of shits on because he doesn't read the books that are tying into those events anymore. The books that he reads for Marvel are
the 95 rehashes.
Correct. They're all the books that are like, oh, there's a new, we're going back to when Fantastic Four was the Hulk and Spider-Man and Ghost Rider, and we're telling stories that the writer didn't get to tell when he had the run it the first time. You know, like he reads those, like Venom, Lethal Protector, Spider-Man 2099, you know, all that stuff. That's what he reads now. And he even admitted to it. He was talking, and I'm not trying to talk trash at all, not whatsoever. But he admitted, you know, I think this past week, like he's reading Judgment Day, not have reading Eternals, not have reading any of Jason Aaron's Avengers run or X-Men, or Karen Gillan's X-Men. Yeah. And he's like, he basically says like, yeah, I don't understand the point of this, but I'm reviewing it because I feel like I need to let y'all know like what you may be missing. Which again, I like when he says that, I kind of yell at the screen like, just fucking read the stuff and then you'll get it, and then you might like it better. But whatever, it is what it is. That's his cup of tea. Venom would read. Yeah, I would read. Yeah.
Venom.
All right, Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 14. Empire, I know you were here and you tweeted out something that I think is spot on when it comes to the artwork in this book. Yes. And there was a phenomenal panel that was written and illustrated so well in this, and it's when John's about to drop his boyfriend into the dome, right? Like that was an oh shit, like dude, this is absolute like stunning, and how it was written by Taylor and how it was illustrated. I just thought, I don't know, I really like that was very impactful for me in this issue. I did not know what to expect in this book, but I thought that was great.
I thought it was so great I retweeted it, so
there you go.
Boom.
Tendu, in my opinion on Lantern power scaling is that it made sense and now it doesn't. When Hal killed all the Lanterns, he was powerful. When Ion happened, he was more powerful. Then Kyle became the White Lantern. Whew. It stopped making sense, and John is a great character. He doesn't need to be this OP of a character. I don't know what we're doing with Green Lantern. I jumped off of that so quickly because of the artwork, right? Like they just kept on jumping back and forth, and I couldn't follow. And I desperately want to read a Green Lantern book that I don't know. I don't know if I want classic core, because I'm going to sound too much like the guys that were ripping on like, I just want classic core. But that being said, I don't think I'd be upset if Philip Kennedy Johnson started writing Green Lantern. Like I would pick that up in a heartbeat.
Well, I would certainly read a book that he wrote that was a John-centered book, because part of John's biggest identity is being ex-military and like applying those to his willpower of protecting others. And I think that's obviously like a pretty good perspective that Johnson could add. But yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know.
Empire says pick of the week. I enjoyed the issue. I thought it was fun. I think I'll stay consistent that I'm just. I mean, this was definitely a up more than a down when it comes to the Gamora storyline, right? I thought this issue was really good, and it moved the plot line a lot more. You know, it moved it quite further than it has been in previous issues. So I'll give it that. I really enjoyed it. I think giving John's, the Gossamer, an identity, I think is really cool. I love that it's some kind of Kryptonian, or it's not Kryptonian. It's like
a Legion of Superheroes thing.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool, even though I don't know much about that. And then I like that, at the end of it, the one thing that can stop Gossamer is his mother being, she's been transformed into one of these metahumans. Which
to what am I missing here? John teaming up with terrorists and being Superman.
Calling the group that Gossamer's a part of as terrorists, like they're considered terrorists.
But they're not terrorists.
I'm not saying they are. I'm just.
Oh. I just making sure I didn't misunderstand. I got you.
like, I think the outside perceived world within the book thinks they are, because Gamora is still considered good. Like, public
'cause,
opinion, right?
Like before he threw the dome up and shit,
Right.
before they announced what was going on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think this issue like really like seeded me back into the adventure. Like, I'm glad that we're at the part where we're doing, you know, action, and we're fighting, and we're getting involved, and we're finally going up against Bendix. I have been wanting to read Tom Taylor's Suicide Squad for a while, and then finding out that a few of these members of this team are involved in his Suicide Squad run makes me want to go back and read it. It's only 13 issues, so.
When did he write that?
Like 2019.
Okay.
So not it was literally the run before you started reading.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah, it said it says to go back and read that. I don't remember.
Shit, I might need to go read it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Tim says the revolutionaries are established as such in Suicide Squad, so maybe there's some stuff that we need to read.
Gotcha. That's why I was asking, because I knew it had to have been something I didn't.
Well, I just guess we gotta go back and read. Overall, I liked it though. I thought it was fun, and again, I will say though, I'm just ready to end the Gamora thing, and I know we're all kind of speculating something big is going to happen, where the time that after probably Dark Crisis, the story will change. Something will happen, and we'll be onto a new arc. I'm just ready for that to happen. I just am.
Well, yeah, we are. We have the 2 or 3 issue crossover with Action.
Right. So let's see what happens. Hopefully. Empire for me, pick of the week. To clarify, but you probably know that. No, we know. No, we got you, Empire. We totally got you, and we love it. We love the fact that this is your pick of the week. All right, next up, we're jumping into our independence with Samurai Doggy, issue number 1 from Aftershocks comic. Did you pick this up? You did. Okay, cool. I liked it. I really enjoyed it.
Loved it.
Okay, wow.
So good.
If I had an independent pick of the week, this would be it. So I'm going to push the button, because I know yours isn't going to be this, but.
It is not this by like this much.
Okay.
This is a phenomenal book. As a matter of fact, I think if any book that needs to get thrown up there, my pick of the week is 8 Billion Genies, but I think this book should get thrown up there before that one, because this book deserves more attention. Because I don't know, this is a much smaller book than 8 Billion Genies is, and this is very slept on book.
So to clarify, Judgment Day, Predator, Samurai Doggy, and 8 Billion Genies up on the rack today or this week.
No, you don't even need to put 8 Billion Genies up there. That thing's selling on its own. It's literally like getting into
let's just put these
fourth printings and shit.
Let's do Predator and Samurai Doggy.
There you go.
Okay. No, but the story is really fun. I think it's a story that I think we've kind of, it's a kind of, I don't know if I say standard, but it's like the revenge kind of story. Obviously it's different with this dog who's first starts off looking like a normal dog, but by the, once he's grown up, he's walking on 2 legs and is a samurai and is a total badass.
But he has a robot in not a fully robotic legs, but they are, I can't tell if they're armor plated or if the bottom parts of his legs are just pieced together by robots, but he still has his feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has his hands and feet, but the armor on, at least in some of these panels, the armor on his arms and legs, it doesn't look like armor. It literally looks like it's really part of his body. So
yeah,
very much an amalgamation of tech and dog.
Right. I think the story is pretty solid in this book, but man, the artwork in this book is just phenomenal. It's a $5.99 buy, but it's totally worth it. The formatting of the book is premium. Was it $4.99? I'm sorry. The actual book itself feels really great in your hands. I think the pages feel great. This is not a cheap book. It's packed full of story and visuals. You initially had this you had this picked up and you told me about it. And I was like, all right. And then I totally forgot about it. And then again, I picked up my books, went back to work, and then I was watching Robbie during lunch, and he was like, my pick of the week is Samurai Doggy. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot. So then I went back to the store and I had Lee pull me one just in case.
Nice.
Yeah, this book is really fun. I think if you're looking for something fun and new and it's independence, go for it. Pick up Samurai Doggy. I highly recommend it. And I've already pre-ordered issues 2 and 3. I've already done it.
I need to. Also, I just counted. It's 50 pages. So this is because I was like, you said $5.99, and I was like, yeah, that sounds right because this is a huge book. And then I saw it was $4.99. I was like, wait. So you've got 50 pages, no ads. This is definitely your value buy of the week too. Like, there's a lot of value here. But yeah, I just want to say, like, the story to me is pretty good, but not. It's B+. But the art is A++. Like, it is. This is some of the best art I've seen in a while. You can tell this is very. Not only is the art style very manga inspired, but the whole story and the delivery, the framing is all very inspired by like Japanese culture and comic style, Japanese comic style. Whether that be manga or whatever.
I'm not surprised by this being, also it's an Aftershock book, and they've had some titles that were like, oh, these, there's been some that have been like, meh, but there have been a lot lately that have been really good from Aftershock. So
yeah, and what I've noticed in true ironic fashion, what I've noticed is usually when I know the person on the book of Aftershock, like the Stephanie Phillips nuclear family, wasn't that great. But then, like, I'm so sorry, no freaking idea who Chris Tex or Santos are, but goddamn, I want to see more of their stuff, especially Santos, the artist.
Lee said it perfectly. They colored your manga, Nate.
Exactly. I mean, come on. This is see how much better it would be. But there are like I would say that the reason why the art is, I mean, it's so good, but one of the reasons why it's so good is it's extremely atmospheric. Like, it feels like this double splash page, the color is just awesome. And it very much has like a Blade Runner retro sci-fi kind of feel to it. Basically, we haven't even talked about the story. Basically, the story is Doggo is literally just born with 8 siblings, and someone comes by and kills his mom. He bites the dude's thumb off trying to protect his mom and save his siblings from getting stolen. The guy shoots him, and so now we've got a newborn baby puppy with shot. He gets covered in snow and somehow survives, and this robot vulture finds him and brings him back to health. So now he is as an adult with his robot vulture, seeking out the revenge of his mother's murder and trying to find his siblings.
I have a theory.
What's the theory?
I think that his siblings will end up being assassins that he has to fight. Like his, yeah, which will be really crazy. But like when the book ended, I was like, dude, I bet the guy is gonna turn his kid, like his brothers and sisters, against him. Like he's gonna, like the next issue, like halfway through, he's gonna like get on a trail for it, and they're gonna show up, and it's gonna be like, is there 7, right, or is there 8 total?
I believe there's 9 total, so he'll have 8 siblings.
So there'll be 8 that are like, like he'll just be like, and they'll be standing there, and you'll be like, oh shit, here we go. Like, I'm just saying, I think that'd be such a twist. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably building it up, and it probably won't happen, but that would be so cool.
Yeah, it is 9 total. 9 total
okay.
kiddos.
Let's get back to chat really quick. Tender says, y'all, peace out, Jim. Read Descendant, then jump to the new series. You'll enjoy it. Tom Taylor gets my full support on Deceased. I need to read it. I need to. I want to. Lee was like, I mean, she was selling hard the what's it called? The trades. Like she had the first 2, and she has to order the 3rd one. And I was like, okay, I just gotta save up a little bit of money, and then I'll do it, because they're like all of them are like $20. Where do we go here? I'm glad to get a second print of 8 Billion Genies and the first print for 4 this week. Got a sub to that one. All right, well, you're going to talk about that soon.
Number 1's going to 4th print too. It's crazy.
Jesus, that's crazy. I have my number 1. I found it and I was like, oh, sick, I have it. I'm gonna put that in a Mylar. Empire, I need to read Tom Taylor's Suicide Squad. I'll see if my LCS has it. Honestly, I think the only reason Gamora arc is dragging on is Dark Crisis. I agree. Would not be surprised if DC told Tom to do that. I agree. Totally. Rich, Calculated Man is a great one from Aftershock. You're reading that one right now.
Yes, so good.
Patty brings up a good point. At what point is a book or publisher not an independent anymore? Like, would Image be part of the big three now or still independent?
Image, I think, would still be considered independent.
Are there certain books from Image that might be considered part of the big three or have like that kind of I would say feeling or maybe reputation, maybe not necessarily are, but like I would say like what's his name?
I would say that the biggest
Spawn.
I would say that the biggest difference in the defining factor of whether a book is independent or not is if you retain the rights to your books or not.
Right.
And I believe, unless I misunderstand, nobody is retaining your rights in anything but Marvel and DC. So like Image, Aftershock, Boom, obviously I don't know about some of these smaller ones, maybe AWA or I don't even know. I can't even think of some IDW or maybe Dark Horse. I don't know. I think that's pretty much the biggest determining factor.
Yeah. Steven says I need to stop sleeping on Aftershock. Agreed. Mm-hmm. How many copies or how well known do you know have to be not to be independent or indies, just anything not Marvel or DC?
Yeah, I don't think it matters how big it gets. I think it's just you own that shit.
Empire, I think Never Ender is Aftershock. No, aren't they?
Never Ender is Behemoth.
I think that book is gorgeous. It has a very manga style. It is. It's just it's very dense with story. I'm lost right now in it. Patty, and if Boom and Aftershock did a collaboration, would it be classified as an independent because they are together? Stoner thought. Reputation wise, Image is one of the big three. The rights is definitely why it's still independent. Yep. Yeah. I think Image, to me, Image is kind of like what's the word? Like a shadow big three, right? Or like a shadow big one. Like you're right. The creators are able to obtain the rights, right? But everyone knows it. Like I feel like everybody knows Image. Like in almost to a certain degree, Boom was starting to get there, right? Like Boom was. I felt like when we first started, Boom was like, it was starting to rise. Like we were seeing, Netflix was picking up Boom books. They still have first rights to most of their books to create into shows. And what other publisher was getting that kind of attention at Netflix? Image Comics. Maybe Dark Horse here or there, or what was the other one that she said? IDW. Like those ones here and there, but Image, I feel like most of their properties are being picked up quite frequently, whether it's from Netflix or Amazon or who knows, Apple, whatever. Just saying. That's what it is. Joe, halftime random question. Scroll up. Do I have it? Where is it?
Shit. It's right here.
Oh, it's right there. Halftime random question from Joe. Joe's really good at this. I love this. Since y'all have been reading, what has been your favorite storyline/event? Mine would be World War Hulk. Great story about a father/husband revenging his family's death.
Ooh, boy, that is hard.
For me, I gotta say, and it's probably the easy answer, right? And Tendu's gonna love this. For me, it's probably Hickman's X-Men. It's what got us like really into it. Like, we obviously jumped in when with Thor and with Star Wars, but Hickman's X-Men, his event, his summertime event of House and Powers just really got me into it. I mean, I was traveling all across the DFW area trying to find cover A's of House and Powers. I mean, Nate went to multiple comic book shops with me where like we went to one shop and they had cover A's and they were in people's subs and they were like, yeah, well, you know, technically this person hasn't picked their sub up in 6 months, so come back in a week and then we'll see if I can sell it to you. Right. And then while I was doing that, I was picking up every single book that came out after House and Powers, and I was determined to get cover A's on all of them. X-Men, Marauders, what was the other one? X-Force, Fallen Angels. What else was there? I don't even remember. I was all in on that. I mean, remember that conversation, Nate, when we were driving from the Multiverse comic book store to Ron's shop? I called Ron and said I need to be subbed on every X book right now.
Yes,
and
I do remember that.
Just like bang, 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 bang. So to me, that's what it is. Was Hickman's House and Powers is by far my most favorite storyline / event since we've gotten into this.
Oh God, I
Gotta pick one.
do. I have to.
You gotta answer the man's question.
Well,
He's giving us content.
I would say, I'm gonna cop out a little bit here, but this is the best I can do. I will say the Abnett and Lanning cosmic series that they did. So Annihilation, Conquest, Conquest, and then the like War and Realm of Kings. The whole cosmic saga that was like 4 years long that Dan Abnett and Annie Lanning did. That's probably my greatest of all time that I've ever read. And that's not fair because that's literally like 110 comics.
Yeah.
But like they took the thing that made me go from like I enjoy comics to I love comics was reading 70s Jim Starlin space stuff, his old Captain Marvel and Adam Warlock and Gamora and all of this stuff, and I just had a lot of fun with it. But then I read of course Infinity Gauntlet and then the saga Infinity Wars and Crusade. It's just like, man, this stuff is just so cool, and like there's 30 years in between, and like that's great. But then Abnett and Lanning come on and they take all of this stuff, and they don't just take it. They don't just take all the big stuff and the important stuff. They take the most obscure, random, weird characters and bring it all in. They absolutely perfect it. They create the Guardians of the Galaxy. Literally, our entire facility is based off of a floating celestial head at the edge of the universe. Like, it's just fucking awesome. Like, it's so cool. Like, it's why I think that Marvel Cosmic is the best branch of any segment of comics out there.
Can I have a notable, like, there's like you're right. There's too much. There's so much, right? Like now I'm thinking about it.
You can't, because then I want to say Last God Saga by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Ricardo Federici. Okay. Then I honestly want to say Seven Secrets, Tom Taylor and Daniel Di Niccolo. The Gore Saga by Thor and Asad Ribic is fucking amazing. I can't just.
No, you just did it, so now I get to.
Right. Go ahead.
It's all. The other thing I remember when we started this journey was going on eBay and trying to find one specific creator's comics, like a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I know. I think you know what I'm going to say. The other thing that I hunted down outside of House and Powers of like comics that I was like I just missed the boat on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This right here. I am so proud to say that I have the 6 volumes of cover A's by Donny Cates and by Trad Moore. But this treasury of Silver Surfer Black, it's so good. If I could get a second one, that would be the thing I'd be giving away, but I only have one. This thing is just, I mean, dude, the artwork in this thing, and I cannot wait for look at that. Like, what? I cannot wait for the Tradmore Doctor Strange book.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
It's gonna be so much fun. But overall, I think if there was like one creator that I'm like super obsessed with, and like when we started and I just bought everything under the sun by him, would be Donny Cates. Like his Silver Surfer Black was amazing. I know a lot of people don't like his Guardians run, but I think it's fucking awesome. I also love his Death of Inhumans is so good. It's so good. And people like there are a lot of people that hate it. I absolutely love it. And then his Thanos Wins run, where he introduces new characters like Cosmic Ghost Rider, and we see Silver Surfer Black with the freaking Mjolnir. You know, just it was so good. So I remember even his Doctor Strange run was really fun too, and I remember reading that and getting all the comics. Like, so good. So thank you, Joe, for a trip down memory lane. Let's see here. Joe says, hell, a 6-issue mini can hit better than overall events. Only thing about that is it's harder to produce a big event without dragging. Rich, Iron Man was great. I loved seeing that version of Tony. Patty, as a kid, Batman Nightfall Volume 1 was my go-to, gotta read so many times, and I still need the other 2 big volumes of that. But holy hell, as a kid, I read as many singles as I could find after Volume 1. Joe, which event was better? King in Black, Heroes Reborn, Death of Doctor Strange. King in Black. Out of the ones that you just mentioned, King in Black.
Yeah, and I don't think it's close.
No. Heroes Reborn was trash.
I quit reading Death of Doctor Strange.
Yep. It was not, I don't know. It didn't hit it for me. All those picks plus Immortal Hulk. Yeah, Immortal Hulk is good too. It's really good. All right. Next up, the last book. Obviously, tell me about it. 8 Billion Genies. Or this is 8 weeks now, right?
Yeah, this is the first 8 weeks. Is what we're doing now. So this is the last thing that we left off from the previous issue. Pretty much was that the kiddo. You know, we saw the remnants were disappearing. Like we had who was it? Shit, who was in the bar? Jim Morrison was in the bar, and why am I not gonna remember his name? American writer who wrote like For Whom the Bell Tolls and
Poe?
No, not Poe. The guy that fought in the war, like Spanish Revolution. And,
nope, right over my head. Sorry. It's been a long day, dude. I went to the zoo.
That will tell me. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I know. You knocked your kid out. We're dragging him.
Dude, he like. We got him. I'm sorry. We're gonna take a
Ernest Hemingway.
Hemingway. Okay. We got like at one point. It's just it was like he got out of that stroller and he was like, "Carry me," and I was like, "Hell no!" And I put him in that stroller, and he was like, literally, we had to buckle him in because when we put him in, he was hanging off the side like, "Oh God, I die." I was like, "Here," and then he just fell asleep. All right, continue. Sorry.
So the last issue was we see the remnants disappearing, and so the little boy's like, "Yo, I don't want." Basically, the mom will stay around until the dad dies. He's like, "We're living in a strange time, and it's scary. I don't want y'all to die." So he basically wishes to be a superhero. We don't hear the way it's worded, which I think is really important because it basically tells us the implication is that they can let this kid do whatever he wants without having to hold on to his wish, because we don't technically know what his wish is. He wrote it down and showed it to the genie, and we don't see it. Anyway, the kid's like a super buff superhero now. It's week 2. He's flying all around the world and beating up bad guys. But the issue is he's like too powerful, and he like once went to go punch a guy, but like punched through punched his brains out the other side.
Oh no!
And was like, "Oh shit!" And then he like starts killing he goes to Tokyo to start fighting kaiju, but he can't. He's like, "I don't know if these are remnants, like people wish these kaiju to be here, and so they're not real, or if these are people that wish themselves to be turned into kaiju. So I'm really murdering people." And so he starts having like a big crisis. And then, of course, down in the bar, everyone starts sort of kumbayaing a little bit. The girl that tried to make that guy fall in love with her realizes that she probably needs to like make up with him and like try to just like be cool. and everyone starts trying to be buddy buddy. It's whatever. But the vast majority of this issue focuses on superheroes fighting. The art in it is I feel like part of the reason why they did this was to give Ryan Brown an opportunity to really just go wild and ham with his art. Big giant explosions, heads getting sawed in half, or faces getting chopped and blood going everywhere. Like it's a lot of fun. And our kid is in Tokyo fighting, and everything seems to be going well. And then all of a sudden, the leader of the group, I don't know if you can tell, he gets folded into a bunch of different bone shadow directions, and this weird high evolutionary infinity sort of weird people show up and are like, they try to crush the boy, but he's too powerful, and they're like, oh, you're a tough one, you're too strong to crunch, we'll have to take a good little think on that, on how to handle you, goodbye. And then they just like pop away, and you're like, okay, that was weird. And so now the kid's like, fuck, I only came out here to find a safe place for my parents to live. I ended up becoming a superhero for weeks, and now all my friends are dead and like these massive supervillains. It's just like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
We get a huge twist in the middle there. So I will say, if you're not reading, or if you are reading this but you're not caught up, you're not on issue 4, maybe just out a touch early, because this is a big reveal. But it turns out, here's a reveal. They start questioning the bartender, and they tell him like, yo, we've been in here for months now, and we're all talking and we're all getting along. Ay.
Hey, there's a twist. There you go. You're good.
He's like, hey, we've all been sharing stories, we're all getting along, we're all telling each other, we all know everything about each other now. We don't know shit about you. You don't talk about yourself at all. And it's because the bartender is a genie.
Ah!
Turns out this has happened before. Basically what he says is, yeah, this happens a lot. Basically, when humans get too of want, we basically are in charge of like wants and desires, and we have to purge that shit. And I was the genie that granted the very last wish on the previous time we did this. And so by being that genie, I was granted the ability to live on Earth until the next time this happens. And so that's how he knew to do the whole, I wish that this bar was protected by anything that happens from the outside. And wow. That's how he had all the preparations and stuff like that.
So a genie can make a wish?
Apparently. Or he has the powers to do that wish.
Okay, I gotcha.
And he basically is talking to them while we're seeing the kid run away, and the kid's like just flying through space, and it's just like, yo, I don't know what to do, like what the fuck's going on, while the bartender's essentially narrating. He goes, yeah, this happens a lot, every time we do this you go through phases. Right now we're into the like the power stage where everybody turns themselves into superheroes. But he says, then after that, then we get to most of like you guys, because most of the people in the bar still haven't used their wishes. He says, humanity is a right now sort of species. Down the road is a struggle for most of you folks. He says that some of you, though, think only about what's coming, and you are the planners and the strategists. Now this is your time. And then that's pretty much the end of the episode. The kid is flying around, and we see on the world there's like habitats that have been built and stuff on the planet to like protect people. And the kid flies to one and says, say, hey, let me in. I'm just looking for good. Like, I don't want to be out here with all this evil shit. And then this weirdo dude opens the door and he's like, I'm the idea man, come in. And I don't feel like that's supposed to be maybe Ryan Brown, because that's not what Charles Soule looks like, but I feel like that's supposed to look like somebody. I could be wrong, but if anyone knows, tell me. But it's just, I don't know. This book is just so good. The art in it is fantastic. It's always so different, always so unique. Like, it just feels like a big playground of stuff that you can do. And then it's just intriguing. Like I was not in a million years expecting the bartender dude to be a genie, but here he is.
Patty asks, he wonders what that last wish was.
Oh, I bet we find out, but I don't know. It does not say. Also, one of my favorite things about this book is throughout the entire book, we start to see more and more. We started seeing this last issue, but we see it a ton in this issue too. The genies personifying the people that they wish, or that they are representing to wish. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious. Like at one point, the two genies in the bar start drinking, and slowly throughout the entire issue, they get more and more drunk until eventually, where is that? Eventually, you get a genie leaning over the side of the bar, like puking his fucking guts out. I can't find it. It's really funny.
So does that explain why this genie on the cover is pregnant?
Yeah, that's just to be silly.
Okay. Huh.
I don't know. It's silly goose time. It's a lot of fun. I think it has a lot to say, but is just building up to say it. We haven't got there for everything yet, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay. All right. I see. I gotcha. Back to chat. Joe says King in Black or Death Metal? King in Black. Death Metal was bleh. It's all right. Patty, I was like a damn kid, just go back to the bar. All those poor kids just killed for being heroes.
Yeah, it turns out most of the heroes were actually just kids that powered themselves up.
Dang. Joe says, I just started King in Black. I'm on a high right now. Damn good. It's good. But it gets rushed at the end. But
if you
did you read Venom?
Oh yeah.
Gonna wonder.
I don't remember what I'm saying. You go ahead.
Let's see here. I feel like the guy in the band who was outside trying to ask the girl out when all this went down will be the one to make the last wish. Interesting. Yeah. Joe, y'all hear that the reason that DC Dark Knight of Steel is on hold is due to them making tie-ins.
I didn't hear that, but it doesn't surprise me. That's we're already seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
that was my guess a couple weeks ago.
Would be funny. Would be funny as drunk genies messed up wishes. Oh, yeah.
That would be
hilarious. Alrighty. Well, that is gonna do it for the 100th episode. Joe says I'm reading what needs to be a Venom, but not the whole run. There's some cool stuff in there. There's some really cool stuff in there. I'd give it a shot. It's fun. Yeah, I think it was fun. Or at least the beginning. I think the beginning, halfway, leading up. So like Absolute Carnage, super fun. And then leading into leading into King in Black. Towards the end, the run kind of like, but I just think Donnie was done after King in Black. So, yeah. Anyway, that is the end of episode 100. I still can't figure out if we should give away anything. I don't know what to give away. I could do this. I've had this since forever. It is a Venom 155 9.8 CGC graded lenticular cover. So it changes. You see like Venom, but then you see Spidey. So that's kind of cool. I could give this away. It's kind of fun. I won this on a giveaway. So should we do that?
That's up to you. That's not
anybody? Anybody?
That's not up to
anybody?
me.
Anybody want this? No? Okay. All right, we'll just wait quickly. We'll just wait until we get to 750 because that was the actual grab, right? Like that's what I wanted us to get to was 750. We're almost there, guys. We're 40 away. Thank you everybody for happy 100. Make sure to tune in this Tuesday for New Comic Book Day. We come out a little early so you guys can kind of get a feel for what's coming out. So 4:30 Central Standard Time, that will drop here on YouTube. And then we will catch you guys live next Sunday for episode 101, Two Fat Guys Pull List, or issue 101, where we will be talking about a handful of books next week. I mean, next week is... Let's see here. I have... Shit, that's jumped up. How, 72? Or is this you? No, that's me. No, that's you. Hold on. I'm looking at your.
We have a lot of books. Don't worry about it. We have a lot of books.
I was gonna say there's a lot of books. There's a ton, which is surprising because our new comic book day video is like actually only 25 minutes long. Like we like knocked that thing out of the park. We could have gone
through
it. Yeah, we could have gone forever. But anyway, so next week should be pretty fun, pretty heavy. We'll probably fly through books pretty quickly. But we'll see you guys here live. And then obviously if any new comic book news breaks or if we get solicitations for what is it now, November, which I kind of hope we do because October was kind of a dud and that's why we didn't really do a video because it was like a lot of event tie-ins, which hey, we know what's coming. We don't really want to spoil that. But if November has some more like newer stuff, some more number ones, which I think we might get, there is a I saw a Thanos Death Note one-shot coming out.
Yeah, that looks cool. And
apparently that's going to have a tie-in to Donny Cates's Thor run.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to. So right now, Thanos, we don't know where Thanos is. This is supposed to bring Thanos back into the picture so that Donny Cates can eventually pick him back up and play with him if he ever decides to write comic books again.
Well, we do get a Donny Cates book next week, but that has already been written. But I agree with you. At some point, he needs to come back and play in the sandbox. But Death Note looks dope. I know, but also there are some stuff in there that we're gonna be disappointed in, like more of these, like, hey, we're going back to the 90s. Wow! So great. Anyway, Joe, She-Hulk week, can't wait. I know you're ready to jump. Oh yeah, forgot about that. She-Hulk comes out on Thursday, and I don't know if you're gonna watch, Nate. Okay, are you interested in potentially doing a review show? Or
yeah, let me see if I should be able to do that.
Okay, I know everybody in chat is definitely going to want to watch that. So, yeah, I'm ready. Joe, y'all doing posts? Yeah, so that's what we were literally just talking about. We'll figure it out, whether we do it live or we do it recorded. I think live kind of works out better. It's just kind of a nice, quick one-shot episode. So we will work on that for sure. So we will catch you guys potentially this Friday with a She-Hulk show. So. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm really thirsty and I'm kind of hungry and I want to go to bed. Sure. So we will catch you guys in the next one. We appreciate every single one of you. And as always, fam, be quiet. Be kind. God, I can't talk tonight.
Be kind. Rewind.
Be kind to one another and read more comics, fam. We'll catch you in the next one. Later, guys. Oy, I can't talk, dude.
Rewind.
Be kind.